Booktube, Sarah here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a new type of video, but I'm super excited about this one. I have borrowed this idea from Karen over at Rather Be Reading. She's been doing these videos for a good couple of years, and every single time I watch one, I think to myself, I want to do that too. I love that idea and I want to do it too. And I never get around to doing it. So I made it a goal in 2020 that one of my new videos on my channel, like one of my monthly videos, were going to be this. And this is my added to my wish list video. And this is for December of 2019. So, quick explanation. In Karen's videos, hers are called her added to her want to read, or you know, something like that, for whatever month it is. I will link the newest one that she has in the description box below, so you can go and check it out, and definitely subscribe to Karen's channel because it's delightful. I adore watching her videos. Even though we read very different books a lot of the time, I still think that she's an absolute delight. So in these videos, what she does is she talks about all the books that she has added to her want to read list on Goodreads. Books that she heard about from other booktube channels or blog posts or wherever it was that she heard about it, and she added it to her want to read list on Goodreads. She talks about them all in a video. Now, the thing is that I only add books to my want to read list on Goodreads once I have a copy, whether it be physical or digital. If I have a copy in my possession that I can access right away, then I add it to my want to read list. If not, and in the case of these books, these are all, that's why I'm calling it added to my wish list, because if I hear about books and, you know, I'll be watching a booktube video and be like, oh, that sounds really good. And I will go on Amazon and find it and add it to my wish list on Amazon. So that's the difference between mine and Karen's videos, is that mine are being added to my wish list that eventually I'd like to get to. But this video is more of a way to talk about some books that you guys might not, you know, that I've heard about from other booktubers that you guys might not have heard about before, that are of great interest to me enough to add them to a, you know, eventually read at some point in the future, but also a way for me to kind of talk about some different booktubers that I'm watching. So I've organized this list based on different booktubers. I don't remember what videos I got all these books from. There's only 7 of them I'm going to share with you guys, but I just wanted to kind of highlight the books and the booktubers. So links to all the booktube channels will also be in the description box below, and I'll list all these books as well in case you're curious about checking out more for yourself. So first off, we're going to start off with, as I said, Karen from Rather Be Reading. I really love watching her channel. She is in Australia. She is a delight. She reads a lot of interesting, she reads a lot too. She reads a lot of different books as well. She primarily is a thriller reader, but she does dip her toes outside, much like I'm mostly a contemporary romance reader, but I tend to dip my toes outside of that genre as well. So, you know, but she's an absolute delight, and I recommend that you check out her channel. So there were 2 books in December that I heard about from her that really piqued my interest. The first one is The House by Christina Lauren. Yes, that Christina Lauren, or those Christina Lauren, because it is a duo writing group. This is a YA horror novel, guys, a YA horror. Christina Lauren writes, or they write, contemporary romance. You know, I know that they have written young adult before. They wrote, I think it was autobiography, was it called? I haven't read it yet. But this one is a YA horror about a house. And I almost get Amityville horror vibes from the plot line. Sounds really, really interesting. And yeah, when she mentioned it, I think she had the same reaction, like, really? They wrote a horror novel? But yeah, I am definitely interested in checking this one out. The other one that she talked about was The Dry by Jane Harper. This is not the first time I've heard about this book, but it made me remember to put it on my list. And this is a mystery thriller novel. I believe it's set in Australia, and it's set something about some wildfires happening maybe, and they find a body. Totally intrigued and interested. This is, I think, the author's debut novel. There's now a second book in the series. I think Karen was actually talking about the second book, and I went ahead and added the first one to my my wish list. So yeah, this one sounds really interesting. I'm getting more and more into thrillers lately, and I'm really enjoying them. So I'd like to read this one sooner rather than later. The next channel that I want to share with you guys is Bree, and her channel is Bree Hill. Bree and I are very good friends, I like to think. We're good booktube friends. We chat quite a bit on Voxer, and we kind of have we kind of read very similar to each other. We both have a love of Christmas romances. I think no matter what time of the year, Christmas romances are always a delight. But the two books I want to mention from her are not both Christmas romances. One is, but the first one is called A Dozen Second Chances by Kate Field. This is a new adult contemporary novel. This one actually doesn't come out till February 6th. So she must have been doing like an anticipated reads video that I saw this on. And this is about a woman who, when her daughter is leaving home, she gives her a set of 12 Be Kind to Yourself vouchers, telling her that she has to start living for herself again and that she should fill one out every time she does something to treat herself. With her very first voucher, Eve, which is the daughter's name, Eve's life will change its course. But with 11 more vouchers to go, can Eve learn to put herself first and follow her dreams she's kept secret for too long? So, I don't know, it just sounded really, really interesting about, like, treating yourself and being kind to yourself. It sounds really good, so I added it to my want to read list. But like I said, it doesn't come out till February, so do keep that in mind. The next one is a Christmas novel, and it's The Clause, Clause, in Christmas by Rachael Bloome, unlike Santa Claus. And this is a Christmas romance. I did notice also when I was looking this one up on Amazon, it's available as part of Kindle Unlimited. So if you have it, you can check it out there. And the way when I read the back of this one, like I saw the cover and I went, yes, please. And she talked about, you know, that she enjoyed it or that she was looking forward to reading it or whatever the case may be. I can't remember if she actually read it or not. But when I went on Amazon and looked at it, it said, Cassie Hayward hates Christmas, especially this year. No job, flat broke, and an ex most definitely on the naughty list. I'm like, okay, sign me up. This one sounds delightful. And it's a Christmas romance. So I added it to my wish list. I actually rejoined Kindle Unlimited. And I added it to my Kindle Unlimited wish list so I can get to it. So I know that maybe next Christmas it's one that I can definitely get to, if not sooner in the year. The next channel that I want to talk about, she's new back on BookTube. She's been gone for a little while, but we convinced her to come back, and that is Chloe, and her channel is Chloe B, and of course I'll list it in the description box below. In one of her first videos back on BookTube, she talked about a book called Bitter River by Julia Keller. This is a mystery and suspense novel, and it sounds so good. The back of the book starts off by saying, phone calls before dawn are never good news. And it's about a woman who's a prosecuting attorney in an Appalachian town, and there's been a murder, and it sounds really good. The cover drew me in. I mean, there's something about that cover that's very, very interesting to me, and I want to find out more. I also love that character's outfit. I would like that outfit for myself. But yeah, no, this one sounds really good. Again, a great mystery suspense thriller type book, and I definitely added it to my wish list. The next channel I want to talk about, the last two actually, both of them are bigger booktubers. They've been around for a good long while. Most of you probably know about them, but of course I still want to give credit where credit is always due. And the first one is Elena from Elena Reads Books, and I really enjoy watching her channel. She is from the UK. She has a delight. I love the UK accent, like her and Lindsay from The Wandering Reader, and Karen from Rather Be Reading. You know, she's got the Australian accent. I just love accents. But yeah, she is a delight. She reads some... We don't read a lot of similar books, but every now and then I will find books that I'll be like, oh, that one sounds really good. And this one did. And it's called Hungry Hearts, 13 Tales of Food and Love, and it's by various authors. This is a YA contemporary novel. And I am very interested in reading this one. It is 13 short stories, all revolving around a town that has all these restaurants or something. And each short story follows something from the previous story. So for example, in the first story, if the main character gets a delivery of Chinese food to their apartment, in the next story will be about the Chinese food delivery person. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that they kind of fall in sync with each other. I really love that, and I think it sounds delightful. I'm not familiar with a lot of the authors. One of them, though, is the author of When Dimple Met Rishi, Sandia Manon, and I am a big fan of her work, so I am thoroughly interested in reading this one. It's a little bit pricey for the Kindle. I might, once Garrett gets back to work, I might go ahead and break the bank and order it on hardcover because I really think the cover looks delightful too. And I think that this one would be a really, really fun read. And the last one that I want to mention is the last booktuber is Krista over at Books and Jams. And of course, again, I will link her channel below. And she reads a lot of different stuff. If she reads romance, it's primarily Christian fiction romance, which is fine. I do read my own fair share of that as well. She did Vlogmas this year, and she had a lot of great vlogs. And she also reads a lot of thriller stories. She reads a wide variety of different books. And she also reads a lot of middle grade. And middle grade is one thing that I would like to start dipping my toes into a bit more in 2020. I am planning on participating in, is it either middle grade March or middle grade May? I'm not sure which one it is. But I've already got a couple books set aside that I'd want to read for that. And I think this one that I'm going to mention, it might be another one. And it is called The Vanderbeekers of 141st Street. And this is by Karina Glaser. And as I stated, this is middle grade fiction. This actually takes place over the holidays. It's about a family with 5 kids. And I'll just read the back of it for you guys because it'll be a little bit easier. It says, the Vanderbeekers have always lived in the brownstone on 141st Street. It's practically another member of the family. So when their reclusive landlord decides not to renew their lease, the 5 siblings have 11 days to do whatever it takes to stay in their beloved home and convince the dreaded man just how wonderful they are. All is fair in love and war when it comes to keeping their home. Does that not sound delightful? It's also the first book in a series, so there are more of these if I like them. And yeah, I'm super excited about getting more into middle grade fiction. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Any ones that I can add to that list. Because I also think it would be kind of fun to be able to read some books that I could recommend to my niece, who turns 10 in February. So, you know, I think that would just be delightful. But anyway, that is all that I have for this video, you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned and what you thought about them. And yeah, until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.